Hi everybody, it's Carol. It's week 6 of OTL 5500 and this week we watched Improved Teaching with Video. We observed Sarah Brown Wessling at Johnson High School. We were able to watch her a couple weeks ago, I think, and she does a nice job on video as most of you have attained that level of video as well. I'm still working on that, which is one thing that I got from her video. I wish that I were as comfortable as she is. She obviously thrives on that. I also appreciated her ability to watch herself and take notes. That's one thing that I always found as a barrier was I don't like to watch myself on video, and I'll talk about the things that I consider to be barriers in just a minute. But two of the benefits that I got, the first one that I got was her comments about the problem of being in the daily grind, that when you're teaching, you get caught up in what you're doing and sometimes you forget the best practices. And the example, I think she didn't say it in so many words, but what she sort of used as an example was she had given her students an assignment to revise an essay, and she had them go back to their iPads, and she said, what I want you to do is I want you to read your essay aloud. And you could see the expression on one of the boys' faces like, oh, read my essay aloud, like I don't want to hear my essay. And I think that would of course be the point, that you should hear what you've written, because you'll find mistakes as you do that, whereas sometimes when you read over your work, you don't find a mistake, you read it as you think it should be. And so I think that would be a best practice, certainly, as we have talked about trying to use different types of learning, auditory or visual or kinesthetic or whatever. She's incorporating two different ways to approach something. And so she's also using a technical tool or a technologic tool, the iPad. And so I think that she's trying there to remember her best practices. And if she had not used her tape there, if she'd not watched her video that she'd made of herself, she might have done as she had been doing maybe day after day after day. Revise your video and get back to me. Turn in your, I mean, not your video, revise your essay, turn it into me. And so I think that was really important. And I think as she was discussing with her principal also, she said, well, see, I'm wandering around the room. What do you see? And so the second benefit, I think, was that she was able to share that video with someone. And as the principal called that, collegial, he used the term, was gives you an opportunity to share that with someone else if you feel comfortable doing that, so that they can make a suggestion. They can say, oh, I see this group and they seem to be very engaged. This group seems to be less engaged. Or as he pointed out, he said, well, what are you learning from them? What do you see in your classroom? What are you learning from those groups? And what are they learning from you? And so you can tell the kids maybe who are not clued into what you're doing or tuned into what you're doing, and they can also you can also see if you're seeing the light bulbs go off, so to speak. So I think that that helps as well. So I think that those were two real benefits. And now the barriers that we come to, I think a lot of it has to do with the digital native, digital immigrant conversation that we've had numerous times in this course, or in all of these courses. And I think that I personally have never videotaped myself when I was in an actual classroom. When I was a children's director, I did. I had to create a couple of videos for our video classroom, which was one of our rotations, and there wasn't a commercial product, so I actually had to get someone to tape me, and I taped a lesson, and then it was used in our video classroom. And I was very nerve-wracking, made me very self-conscious, and I didn't like it, but it needed to be done, and I was the person who needed to do it because it was my job. I didn't watch it. I watched bits and pieces of it, and the person who made it edited it and made sure that it was okay. As the children's minister, I did do the children's sermon every Sunday, and so our church service was on television, and so I was taped every week, and it was on TV. And so I did see that. And from the beginning, at the beginning of the 9 years that I did it, of course, I was a lot stiffer and I relaxed a lot and was able to laugh with the kids and have fun with it by the end, on Sunday morning in front of 400 people. But that was something that took a lot of time, and I really didn't enjoy watching myself. It just still was something. I think that I didn't grow up in an age of selfies and internet video of myself, and I think that that makes a difference. And I think that being in these courses, I've really grown to appreciate watching Dr. Langhorst do his videos where he is so seemingly unself-conscious. He gets his message across. He's very relaxed. He just seems to have a good time with it. He makes jokes and, just it's just very comfortable. And I think that that is something that is important and something that I think that I know I'm striving for. And I think probably you all are too, as you think about teaching online. So I think that that is something that I just will have to keep working toward. And I think it's important to do. And I can see the benefit of watching yourself and trying to get better. So I'm going to pause for a minute.